Hi, Apratim, and can you tell me about your startup, like what you're doing and what's the story?
Hi Ravikant, thanks for calling me here. My startup is about building a simulation system, a device that is used to train aspiring clinical embryologists so that they do not need expensive setup, samples, or consumables for their training purposes.
So, the idea is quite quite
Quite new.
new, and it's like quite heavy on my brain still, right? So, what suppose if you want to explain to a child, right? What will what's the one liner you will tell him, like?
Our product is about IVF.
Okay.
IVF is in vitro fertilization, a technique which is used to a technique which is used for producing babies for infertile couples.
Okay.
And the technique is quite technical.
Yeah.
And requires an expensive setup that costs around 40 to 50 lakh rupees. And the requirements for practicing on that machine is that you need the setup and the samples that is extracted from the patients. So for someone who is training to develop that muscle memory, those skills that is required to operate on that machine, one needs to sit on that machine because it's like driving. To learn driving, you have to drive. You cannot learn driving by just seeing someone drive. You have to develop that muscle memory.
Right.
So if that real machine is not available to practice on, something else must be there, and that is what we are creating. We are creating our machine which simulates the actual environment that is being performed. We simulate that microscopic and micro environment that is being controlled by the micro manipulators, and those micro manipulators are also part of our simulation system. So a user can be risk free and practice in a risk free environment and develop their skills.
So, are you a doctor? Like, how and did you thought about building this segment?
Okay, I am not a doctor, I am a technologist, and my co-founder is a professional clinical embryologist, and
Okay.
he was the one who saw that gap in training, that hands-on training is missing and is the most important aspect of his job.
Okay.
And to address that issue, we discussed it, and only solution we could think of is developing a simulation setup for training aspiring clinical embryologists.
Right. So, what's what's your biggest pain point? Like,
First pain point is when we were developing the product, it requires an immense amount of research and development,
Okay.
and R&D costs a lot. So for a startup like us, a deep tech startup like us, which requires to simulate micro environment, that those intricacies involved in the procedure, we needed to do a lot of research, and from day one we needed funding basically. And in our country, unfortunately, the ecosystem is developed but not that developed for startups that are not generating revenue.
okay.
So that was our first pain point, but we managed to get through it through our personal savings and family support and everything else. And after that, when we were ready with our prototype, with our proof of concept, our next pain point was making people aware that a simulation system can actually help someone improve, learn the procedure and then improve on the results as well, because it was completely something new for everyone. So that was our second pain point, but not actually a pain point. People are quite understanding nowadays.
Okay.
But so just we needed to reach them out and explain everything. It takes time, but it's happening now.
Like, have you done the training? Have you helped people who won't train on them, like yourself, or like are you approaching the colleges who train these
Got it.
students?
Okay. So you're basically asking whether we are training ourselves or we are
Yeah.
approaching institutions who train or who already train students.
Right.
Our business model is that we approach institutions. We work on a B2B model, and we approach institutions that are already into training, and we provide them this training infrastructure so that they can train better.
Okay.
But however, since we were less on funds for our R&D, we developed a proof of concept and have also done workshops with our own simulation system to train students so that we could earn a little more to continue our research and development.
So the product, is it the final product or is it still in a POC stage?
Look, since it's a deep tech product,
Right.
we continuously need to be improving it. But
Mhm.
right now it's in a stage that it is very usable.
Okay. And as you mentioned, right, you are not funded right now.
Yes.
So are you incubated somewhere? Like, what's the how are you managing? Yeah.
We are currently incubated in ISTAT Rajasthan.
Okay.
And we have applied to numerous incubation centers. Most
Mhm.
of them nowadays ask for fees upfront, that you
Okay.
need to pay X thousand
Mhm.
amount of money, and we will incubate you for an year, and we will give you this opportunity.
Okay.
But initially I was too much into it, but later on when I saw it from another point of view, from a higher point of view,
Mhm.
it seemed like they are running another business. It was like a business model for them to acquire multiple startups and build their own ecosystem and connect them through, and
Mhm.
get a few mentors and help them guide it through.
Right.
But actually I don't think any of them are that helpful.
Okay.
If your incubation center is definitely from IITs or IIMs or such
Mhm.
places which receive uh, which receive people from outside. I mean, people who themselves approach such institutions, they
Mhm.
definitely have that quality. But rest
Mhm.
of them are just running for the sake of saying that yes, we have an incubation center.
Okay. So what's your next plan? Like, are you planning to raise funding first, or are you planning to get customers? And so yeah.
Okay. If you had asked me this question a few months back, I would have said that yes, I'll be going for funding first. But ever since we started, I knew that getting funding is a big task in itself. So we were always running in background in parallel
Okay.
for our product, so
Mhm.
that we can, in our limited resources, could at least develop it and pitch it forward, sell it. And that has helped us grow to a level. It definitely took time, but it has taken us to a level now that we can actually sell our product. It is ready to use.
Okay.
Though we have been in talks with some investors who wanted to invest in us, but they also required a good amount of what do you call it, persuading.
Mhm.
And it was very time taking.
Okay.
So our run in parallel to improve product on our own and reach out to our customers, I think will help us very soon to generate a cash flow on our own. So
Mhm.
we do not need a big funding now.
Okay. And so can you tell me a little bit about yourself? Like, what's your background been, and how like what is this your first startup? And yeah.
Since childhood, I've never wanted uh, to do a job under some
Mhm.
company.
Yeah.
That was never my mindset. Although people used to say that you, before starting your own business, you need to do a job and learn stuff, but I was of the opposite mindset. I was like, I should rather do and learn than learn and do.
Okay.
So that is why I have done a job in for about an year after I post graduated. I've completed my masters of computer applications. Then I did a job in computer applications. I was in mobile app development, native and hybrid.
Okay.
But I left that in a few months, and I was totally looking for something to innovate. I wanted to innovate something and make a business out of it. And there were many things in consideration, but this was the first I took up. This was the first thing I took up, and now we are ready with our product and ready to
Cool.
move things ahead.
So like you and like how many members are there in your team, and what like as you mentioned earlier, right? You invested your own savings, and so what's your runway, right? Like, if you don't get a customer in these many months, or like if you're not getting a paying customer, right? So how will you manage?
Okay. Right now we are in a stage that we have received a purchase order and advance money from an institution, a big institution from Jaipur only.
Okay.
And we are in talks with many others who are genuinely interested in our product. So I think I should stay positive, and
Okay.
I should expect in next 3 to 4 months that I'll be getting decent amount of order that will give us a runway of next 1 year at least.
Okay. Got it. So, like, do you have any founders like who inspired you in this journey? And yeah.
Since what we are doing is something very new,
Right.
and a lot of people are not into such field,
Mhm.
and even if they're not in our country.
Okay.
So for our product or something about innovation, I cannot say that person inspired me.
Mhm.
But yeah, definitely those principles that
Okay.
that develop that mindset of that growth mindset
Mhm.
was something that I can say that yeah, such people have that. Those who are sitting at a good position right now, they have that, and I should have that. And without having those, I wouldn't be here and might not progress in the future.
And what is your family's reaction when you told them that they want to leave your job and do or build a startup? Like,
I would say that they definitely feel a bit insecure about it, but if they see that I am adamant,
Mhm.
then they get supportive.
Okay. And what's your top 5 books that you have read? Yeah.
Actually, I don't read books.
Okay.
I'm more of a guy who sees videos and learns things from
Okay.
from a more visual way than a reading text.
Right. And so, like, what's your do you have anything to say to the next generation of founders who are building here in India in deep tech? Yeah.
For next generation of founders, I think that there are two things I've seen. First is that people believe too much in their innovation,
Okay.
and due to that, they sometimes they trust themselves, they trust their innovation, but sometimes it happens that they get into an illusion that what we are doing is definitely needed, but it is actually not. So
Mhm.
getting things validated is very important. You should not be working years for something that is not at all needed.
Got it.
Okay, so validation is important, and one should be definitely looking for ways, paid or unpaid, to
Mhm.
first validate things and then invest their time and money on things.
Okay.
That was for validation. And second things, once you get validation, don't care of competition, don't care of anything else. I think one should definitely dedicate themselves to building what they are building and come out of something.
So what's the
great.
process of getting this validation?
Getting validation is the process. I think is must engage all the important people.
Okay.
Of different diversified but important people that will be affected by your innovation.
Okay.
Like in our case, we have built something for clinical embryology.
Right.
So who will get affected? Trainee embryologists,
Right.
institutions who train students,
Okay.
and senior embryologists who are into training and the actual procedure.
Okay.
These were the three kinds of people involved, whose life would have changed with our product. So we needed to get feedback from all three of them, and after upon ensuring that we are getting everything positive, we moved ahead with it.
So it was nice talking with you, Apratim, and yeah, I would definitely vouch for you that you get funding and you are able to build a $1 billion company from India. So yeah.